What's up, guys? Okay, so I've got my little cow here. I just shaded in the eyes. I still need to work on the shading here, but my video with that part in it, basically my alarm went off and then the sound wouldn't work, blah blah blah. Okay, so I've been using this tip, which is a rounded top. It's like a circle, but it's not flat, so it's perfect for shading. This one I've been using for the edges, and it's not gonna make super sharp edges, but it'll be halfway decent. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get this little spot up here. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with it, but I do know it needs to be shaded in the rest of the way. So if I'm using the edges of this are gonna make not as dark if you use light pressure. So you always want to use light pressure when you're shading and move as quickly as possible, because with wood burning, as soon as you stay in one spot, like basically it's going to make a lot darker of a line. And the fun thing about this is cows have the most beautiful eyelashes, so that's why I have this not shaded in yet, because I'm not sure how I'm going to finish off the eyelashes. I'm either going to come in from the edge and leave spaces that are white, or I'm going to go back and Dremel tool them out. That's what I'm working on right now. Let's see what we want to do here. So right now I'm just drawing lines, so that if I do want to shade around the eyelashes, I can just follow those lines. Because with wood burning, the first line you make is almost never like an actual line. It's like the wood has to warm up to your wood burner almost, or you have to burn a little section off before it'll actually burn. Okay, so that actually turned out pretty alright, just leaving the white space for your eyes to fill it in mentally. Might do the same thing over here. Funny thing is this side isn't actually shaded in at all, but it looks like it is because the wood is darker. So, again, quick motions. I'm just going through with really quick brush strokes with my wood burner. And again, you don't want any solid lines. You want your lines to basically, even down here, this line, it looks like a solid line where you're standing, but I draw the line, the outline, then I take this and I just go back and forth from either direction. And the side that's brighter, you want to just have less of a dark edge on it, because your eyes will, what's the word? Your eyes will fill in the blanks, basically. Let's see. Leaving my space for my eyelashes. Yeah, cows have really good eyelashes. It's crazy weird. And then the way that I think about shading is just basically wherever my eyes would have shadows is where I put them on here. Alright, I think that's done. There's a little wonky spot there. Alright, so there's my eye area. It's pretty much done. Yeah. So, now if you look close at those eyes, they're not actually shaded yet. I just have the white spots blocked out. So I'm gonna try to shade them, but it's kind of hard to shade such small areas, so I'm gonna use like almost zero pressure, because this will give you darker lines anyway, because it's such a small tip. And reflective eye surfaces really aren't going to be a lot of shading anyway because it's reflective, so it's actually a solid area. There's just a couple of spots on here that are going to be shaded in, like the corners of the eyes and stuff like that. Let's see. So I'm just going through and making a little bit of a line so it's not a straight, clear, visible, solid line. I'm going to do the same thing back here. This is his tear duct. And then I also need to get the bottom side of that because it's not actually drawn in there right now. It's like really shittily drawn. And again, if I absolutely need to, I can go through and take a Dremel tool and, what's the word, sand out some of these spaces so that they're whiter. Let's see. So there's that. Now I need to do the same thing with this side. Basically, his little eyeballs are not really drawn in there. I don't know if I was using a different tip or if I was in a hurry, but basically these lines are not near as dark as they need to be. Okay, so then I need to make my little shading lines over here. Almost no pressure when I'm doing that, because with this tip it's gonna be a lot of dark. So if you hold for any certain amount of seconds, or if you press hard, it's gonna basically leave a really dark spot. So this eye looks way darker, but I think honestly it's just because of the shading underneath it. So I'm gonna see if I can darken the eye itself. It may not be possible, so I may have to come through here and use the Dremel. You know what, actually I might just do that anyway. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Alright, let me go grab my Dremel. Skirt, skirt. Alright, so my Dremel tool. And it looks like that tip. And I use it on high. Alright, so if you use your Dremel tool, one thing to remember, be nice to your wood burning. So I Dremel tooled that out. When you're using it, you have to be nice to your drawing or your artwork because it's actually taking layers off of it. So when you go back through here, it's gonna be basically virgin wood. Like a lot of times when you first buy a cutting board, or this one actually doesn't have any sealant on it, which is nice, but a lot of times it will have sealant on it. So as soon as you use a Dremel tool on that, it's gonna expose like the raw wood underneath. And when you go to burn over it, it's gonna be like really dark under there. So just something to keep in mind. So you can tell that really changed the look of my eye. Now the parts that I have a hard time with are the lighter parts, just because I'm not very good at those, but I would still use the same tip, and I'm just gonna turn it down. And then hopefully that will give me like the edge that I need, because otherwise I'll overshade, and you definitely don't want to overshade with wood burning because you can use the Dremel tool, but it's not very realistic to use as like a plan. You want to have that as like a backup. You don't want to have that as your first option. So as I'm looking at this on your guys' screen, I'm seeing a couple areas of weird perspective. So yeah, that helped. Okay, So this little guy's chewing. That's why he's like got his mouth to the side. But that's what I've got so far. His eyes are definitely misaligned, but he is looking to the side, so I feel like it looks better when I hold it at a little bit of an angle, because he's got his head cocked like that. Okay, but I will be around. I'm gonna keep posting videos as I work on this. A lot of people think that shading with a wood burner is difficult. It's actually super easy if you do draw. It's just the same as drawing. So I hope that you enjoy, and I hope that you make beautiful art of your own. And if you do, let me know. I want to see it. Okay, see you guys later.